6:15 p.m. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation, the news edited by Dulmin Samarasinghe and read by Geethanjali Ramanayaka. The headlines. The number of COVID patients increased by 15% when compared with last week. More than 6.2 million people get the booster dose. SLTB gets 100 electric buses. Election Commission decides to meet party secretaries. Productions of agricultural produce to be increased. Accepting of applications for the GCE O-level examination ends tomorrow. Foreign news, Hungary and Poland lose EU funding fight over laws. Sports Winter Olympics, Alexander Hall wins freestyle skiing slopestyle gold. News in detail now. COVID coordinator of the Ministry of Health, Dr. Anwar Hamdani, says there is an increase of 15% of COVID patients when compared with last week. He said 10% of the patients are depending on oxygen. He further said it's very important to follow health guidelines. Dr. Hamdani pointed out that the pandemic can be controlled by taking the booster dose. Meanwhile, the epidemiology unit said more than 6.2 million have been given the booster dose. State Minister Dilum Amunugama says 100 electric buses will be added to the SLTB fleet. He said it will be done as a solution to minimize the use of fuel and the heavy expenditure to purchase oil. He said that President Gotabaya Rajapaksa has given instructions to take necessary steps in this regard. A meeting of secretaries of all political parties will be held on Wednesday at the Elections Commission. The objective of the meeting is to get the views of the political parties on electoral reforms and regulations that are to be presented to the Special Parliamentary Select Committee. Chairman of the Commission, Nimal Punjiheva, said attention would also be paid on conducting provincial and local government elections. Director General of Health Services Dr. Asela Gunawardena said performing post-mortem PCR is not mandatory for all deaths. Issuing a circular, he said those deaths could be either hospital or non-hospital deaths. However, if a post-mortem PCR needs to be performed, it could be done at the discretion of the relevant JMO. The directive comes into effect with immediate effect. Police said 15 devotees who went on a pilgrimage to Sripada have come under a wasp attack at Ratnapura Kuruwita area. They have been admitted to the Kuruwita hospital. They are residents of Udawalawe and Kagala areas. A 4-storied building has been built for Badula Labour Secretariat at a cost of 270 million rupees. It has been maintained at a place on Badula Station Road with minimum facilities for over 50 years. The new building will be vested with the public on Friday under the patronage of Minister Nimal Siripala de Silva. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. A long-term plan to conserve the coast has begun with the aim of preventing sea erosion. A coast cleaning program has been launched to coincide with the program. State Minister Mohan De Silva said assistance of Samurdhi recipients, business community and the local government institutions has been obtained for the program. He said the program was launched from the Galle district. Minister Prasanna Rantunga has instructed airport officials to take steps to enhance facilities to accommodate the increasing number of tourist arrivals. During an observation tour of the Katunayaka International Airport today, he has also directed to take immediate measures to minimize passenger congestion. Steps have been taken to increase agricultural product capacity. Measures are in place to distribute agricultural produce methodically. Addressing a function at Hambantota, Minister Chamal Rajapaksa said the aim is to prevent food waste. And that ends local news for now.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
Health Ministry said today 393 more patients have recovered from COVID-19 infection within the last 24 hours. This brings the number of COVID-19 recoveries to 596,042. Meanwhile, 18,683 patients are under medical care at present. Sri Lanka has recorded 630,500 99 positive cases and 1,874 deaths since the outbreak of the COVID pandemic. And that was the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
In Watchlight, accepting applications for the GCE Ordinary Level Examination ends tomorrow. Commissioner General of Examinations LMD Dharmasena said the candidates who are yet to submit their applications can do so within the course of the day. And that was Watchlight. Moving on to a bulletin of world news, in the headlines, Hungary and Poland lose EU funding fight over laws. NATO chief questions Russian troop pullback. US girl missing since 2019, found alive in secret room. World news in detail now. Hungary and Poland have lost their court challenge to an EU rule that allows billions of euros of funding to be conditional on democratic standards. The European Court of Justice ruled that complying with rule of law was a condition of enjoying membership of the EU. Governments in Hungary and Poland have been widely accused of backsliding on standards in recent years. NATO has urged Russia to prove it's pulling back troops from around Ukraine's borders, with the military alliance's Secretary General warning of signs that Moscow was massing more forces near its neighbor despite claims of a drawdown. The remarks came as Russia said more of the estimated 100,000 plus soldiers it had deployed near Ukraine in recent months were withdrawing after Moscow initially announced a partial pullback a day earlier. Police in the U.S. state of New York say a young girl who went missing in 2019 has been found alive in a secret room under a staircase. Paisley Shalters, now 6, was discovered in a house in the town of Saugerties after a search on Monday. She is in good health and has now been reunited with her legal guardian and older sister. Her non-custodial parents have been charged with custodial interference and endangering the welfare of a child. Back to the headlines of the world news. Hungary and Poland lose EU funding fight over laws. NATO chief questions Russian troop pullback. US girl missing since 2019 found alive in secret room. And that ends world news.
Development News is brought to you by Let's take coal out of the coconut tree and make the island thriving and prosperous. Call our hotline 1928. WhatsApp 070 400 1928.
A multimode public transport hub connecting Katunayake Airport is to be established along with an extensive railway line connecting Wayangoda and Orugudawat railway stations to the Katunayake Airport. Tourism Minister Prasanna Antunga said that cabinet approval is intended to be obtained for a feasibility study for this project. And that was Development News.
Development News was brought to you by the coconut tree is well grown in almost all the parts of the island. It is an exceptional source of extra income. The shell, the husk and almost all the parts of the coconut tree makes you money, providing you with an excellent extra source of income. It will also help to nourish the economy of the country. You will be guided with all necessary informations regarding the coconut cultivation, with the novel cultivation techniques and all other related and upgraded informations by the Coconut Research Institute, Lunavilla. Call our hotline 1928. WhatsApp 070 400 1928. Sports News is brought to you by
Sampath Bank. We present your future.
Alexander Hall won the freestyle skiing gold in the Winter Olympics men's slopestyle as the USA claimed a 1-2 on the podium in Beijing. An opening run score of 90.01 was enough to earn the 23-year-old victory ahead of her compatriot Nicholas Goper. Goper posted 86.48 on his second run to take the silver as Sweden's Jesper Jarder finished in bronze with 85.35. And that was Sports News.
Cash through NSP globally and win wonderful gifts locally. From October 1st, 2021 to December 31st, 2022. Remit a minimum of $100 or an equivalent amount in any foreign currency 3 times through NSB U Trust.
Business News, Sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Love's Lubricants recently expanded its presence to Bangladesh. A fully owned subsidiary of Love's Holdings, Love's Lubricants, has been offering lubricant solutions for every class of motor vehicle since its inception in 2008. And that was Business News.
Business News, sponsored by
Cash through NSP globally and win wonderful gifts locally. Will you be the lucky winner of the NSP Golden Jubilee? 50 gold sovereigns for the top prize winner of the NSP Golden Jubilee. Scooters for the 10-second prize winners. iPhones for the 10-third prize winners. Mountain bikes for the 29 fourth prize winners. From October 1st, 2021 to December 31st, 2022. Remit a minimum of $100 or an equivalent amount in any foreign currency 3 times through NSB You Trust.
Economic news, courtesy of...
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibility. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act No. 42 of 2011.
The central bank says funds amounting to $111.5 million have been raised through direct issuance of Sri Lanka Development Bonds, or SLDBS, from 1st of January to 15th of February 2022. The investment in SLDBS during the above period was spread across maturities ranging from 3 months to 5 years, attracting large volumes as well as small investors. And that was Economic News.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibility. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act No. 42 of 2011.
The Met Department says mainly fair weather will prevail over most parts of the island. Misty conditions can be expected at some places in the western, Sabaragamuwa, central, north central and in the Uva provinces during the morning. That was the weather report. And to conclude this news broadcast, back to the headlines. The number of COVID patients increased by 15% when compared with last week. More than 6.2 million people get the booster dose. SLTB gets 100 electric buses. The Election Commission decides to meet party secretaries. Productions of agricultural produce to be increased. Accepting of applications for the GCE O-level examination ends tomorrow. Foreign news, Hungary and Poland lose EU funding fight over laws. Sports, Winter Olympics, Alexander Hall wins freestyle skiing slopestyle gold. And with that, we end this news broadcast.